Hey guys, welcome to Tabletop Teaching Educators Edition. Today we're talking about the 5 things that you need to consider before setting your virtual schedule. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that now so you can get our tips and tricks for the virtual, blended, or digital classroom at any point this year. Setting up a virtual classroom means that you're going to have a schedule, and this schedule is going to dictate when you're going to be live in front of a classroom full of students and when you're going to be open for office hours. Now, before you just automatically set your schedule, there are 5 things that you must think about when setting your schedule. The first thing is, what type of lessons are you going to have? There are 4 different types of virtual lessons that you can have in a virtual classroom. If you need more information about that, go watch that video right now. The link is down below. While whole classroom live lessons tend to be a little bit longer because you're going to be giving lots of content to your students, you don't want to overwhelm them and do nothing but those types of lessons. However, setting a schedule that works for your small group video sessions is going to take out a lot of time of your week. However, your students are only going to meet twice a week. So you want to go ahead and look at your students, how many students you have, and how you can feasibly break them into small 15 to 20 minute segments throughout 4 days of the week. Now, before you just automatically assign your students to some random day of the week, I recommend that you send out a Google form or some form of polling so that you can figure out what students have what kind of availability. Since you're in a virtual setting, students are going to have different types of responsibilities and conflicts when it comes to time, and they have to learn how to manage their own time. However, if you send out a poll and do the best that you can to help everyone come together at the right time that works for them, then you're going to have a lot more participation when it comes to these small group circles, and that is key. Another thing that you should think about before setting your small group sessions is going to be reaching out to the parents. Parents are going to be able to tell you a little bit more honestly about when students can and cannot meet for your virtual small group sessions. Once you have your students' small group sessions planned out and you have your once a week whole class lesson planned out, then you need to look at the availabilities that you have for office hours. I recommend having one day where your office hours are early and another day where your office hours are later on in the afternoon. The reason I recommend this is because in the virtual setting, you've got students who are early risers, then you have students who are late risers, and I just don't mean when they wake up for bed. Some kids go to work in the afternoons, so they need to meet with you early, and other kids work in the mornings, so they need to meet with you in the afternoons. Either way, you need to make sure that you're being conscientious of those things. You have to have office hours. Office hours in a virtual setting is going to be when the students are able to talk to you about their grades, or ask about makeup work, or ask about how to redo an assignment. Without having office hours, you're never going to build the right kind of connections with your students, and you're going to have so many students fall through the cracks. So don't let that happen. Make sure that you have your office hours planned out and that there is a balance between the times of day that they can get in touch with you. The 4th suggestion that I'm going to give you is to actually have a third time of office hours that is available, but let that be just for parents. This doesn't have to be as long or as open as it is for the students, because obviously we need to have contact with the students more than we do with the parents. But give parents a 2-hour window every week so that they can call you and ask about their child's participation in the class, or their grade, or their behavior. Because being present in a virtual setting is going to be extremely beneficial. You're going to want parents to help you just as much as parents want you to help them when it comes to virtually teaching their students. So after you have already scheduled your whole class instruction for the week, your individualized small group lessons, your office hours, and your parent hours, I want you to look and see what kind of time you have left, because that is going to be the window that you have to allow students to do verbal assessments online. So this can be tricky because at this point you may not have a lot of time left. However, I strongly advocate that personal assessments verbally in the virtual setting is imperative. There's a reason a lot of colleges around the world have started doing video assessments where they can make sure that the students are in fact taking a test and not searching answers or having someone else take the test for them. Verbal assessments are going to be an imperative part of a virtual classroom, mainly because other than assigning projects and creative items, there's no other way to guarantee that a student is actually taking the test than to watch them take the test. And in the virtual setting, this means that you have to literally watch your students take the test one-on-one. So after you've scheduled out all the other things, look and see how many assessments you can provide per week. Then you need to think about what you're assessing your students on and how often you truly have to assess your students. Go ahead and get those assessments scheduled out so that your students and parents are aware of when and how often they're going to have to take an assessment. And again, if they don't have to take the assessment and you can provide a project or a creative element instead, you might want to look into doing that, because the less time that you're in front of the camera, the more time you have for grading. So those are my tips on planning out your virtual schedule. I hope this helps all of you guys this year as you are moving toward your virtual teaching goals. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe again to our channel.